welcome back to the Cool Figures channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And welcome to episode 31 of my in-depth behind-the-scenes toy photography video series here on the Cool Figures channel. If you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. In this video series, I will go in-depth on a shot that I did for my Epic Shots by Cool Figures. That's where I post my more thought-out, planned-out, more edited pics. In this video, I will go in depth about my setup, my lighting, the figures I used, my idea behind the pic, and the process overall. So jumping into this week's episode, guys, yes, we have Batman versus Mosquash. So I am utilizing the Mafex Armored Batman as well as the Mezco Toys Rumble Society Mosquash as kind of just a basic, generic monster that Batman can go up against, He has somewhat of a realistic and also animated look, which works really well with this Mafex Batman because while the other Dark Knight Mafex figures do work both in cartoon and also live action settings, this one lends itself more towards the cartoon aspect, and so it was kind of hard to get some live action enemies up against this guy right here because they kind of stood out too much, the stark contrast between the two styles, whereas this works really well. And it also gave me a reason to utilize the armored Batman without having him go up against, say, Superman, because that's usually when he wears the armored suit and when he goes up against larger foes. But my larger foes are in the McFarlane Toys line, and those have a more realistic look to them, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard for me to kind of utilize this guy up against those. So I decided to go ahead and use the Rumble Society Mosquash figure, and as you can see, despite him not being an overly gigantic figure, he's still quite a sizable figure compared to Batman. So much so that I had to put Batman on a flight stand, which I had absolutely no intention to do when I first thought of this shot right here, but it's just something that came about when I was going through the process of putting this all together. So like I said, I am utilizing the Mafex Armored Batman and the Mezco Toys Rumble Society Mosquash figure. They are both on stands, which we will take a look at in a bit. I of course used some atmosphere aerosol. I also utilized lighting techniques in order to help capture that. And yeah, so basically it's just Batman versus Mosquash. Mosquash came to invade Gotham City, and well, Batman showed him whose city it truly is. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up from the ground level. So why don't we go ahead and grab the camera and take a look at the setup from the top down. Alright guys, so here we are taking a look at the setup from the top down. We do have two key lights right here at full brightness because there was really no need for it to be too dark and grimming. So this one I utilized the lights at full brightness. I also put a little cube light right here to really capture some light on the underside of Batman and Mosquash right here, because while these two lights are really bright, they were casting a shadow over his face, and so I utilized that cube light to go ahead and just line that up so that it comes across in the photo. We do have our cool blue light right here at full brightness in order to contrast with that warm orange light right there at full brightness as well in the background to just add some atmosphere and depth to the dioramas themselves. We are utilizing the NECA Street Scenes dioramas, and we do also have a cube light back here in order to help capture that atmosphere aerosol. And so yeah, like I said, we do have both these guys on stands. As you can see, these are Mezco stands, the best kind if you ask me, and I am utilizing some cans of atmosphere aerosol in order to weigh them down because, well, Mosquash is a chunky figure, and even Batman, the way he is, he's kind of out there, kind of in an awkward balance position, so that kind of just works as a counterweight to help balance him out. So yeah guys, as you can see, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights. You can never really have too many lights in my opinion, just to really make sure you capture the image overall. So yeah, he is on this Mezco stand right here in a leaned over position. The Mosquash doesn't have too much articulation, but he has just enough to get him into a decent pose, as you can see. Obviously, the Mafex Batman has way more articulation, and that's why he's in a way more articulated pose, despite being all armored up. But yeah, guys, with that being said, that wraps it up for this week's episode. If you happen to have any questions about toy photography, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And if you've made it this far in the video, type down in the comments below Bat Society. That way I know you made it this far and you're enjoying the content. And shout out and thank you to the channel sponsor, Entertainment Earth. Check out my Entertainment Earth affiliate link down in the description below to check out all sorts of cool figures and help support the channel. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the time lapse of me setting up this shot, as well as some behind the scenes shots. and then the final image and the final edit. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a great fucking day.